All right, so right now we have a simple login page, right, that can respond to whether this is successful or not. But what we like to be able to do is configure the fact that if it is successful, it shouldn't just greet us. It should actually navigate to a different place. Okay. Now that can be accomplished in a couple of different ways. So let me show you first one way. Now notice that here we have on the home page we have a nav bar at the top, right? So if we go to the home page, right, we have a nav bar. Make this a little smaller. That we have these references to the original pages, right, that no longer exist. So this, okay, doesn't even go anywhere. We need to refactor that because we're no longer using the mechanism where we are actually referring to a physical page, right? Instead, we need to make that a little higher level, right? And instead modify these as intents, right? Or what is it that the user intends to do, right? So no longer will a page or view actually know that it needs to go explicitly to a different page, right? So let's refactor that a little bit. So here's this page, this header at the top. We have user login. So instead of navigating to user login, what we're going to do is use the same mechanism that we mentioned earlier, right? The hash bang, right? We're going to say that we want to go to the login page, or we want to go to the register page, right? So hash bang register. Notice that now no longer does the page know exactly where it should go, right? It's leaving it up to the controller. Hey, controller, they click on the register page. I have no idea where to go, all right? It's just notifying somebody whose responsibility is to know what to do with that, okay? Or the profile page. So let's change that. Hash bang profile, right? What else? And this would be presumably, again, same thing, right? So it would be hash bang admin. Whether you can actually go there or not, well, that's security and whatnot. You know, and that we'll deal with that a little later. And this is maybe slash. Yes, slash just goes home. All right. Okay. So what else? So let's try that. Let's see what that does. Let's navigate, for instance, to the profile page or the register. Let's try register first. Okay. Let's try to go register first. So if we do that and we notice if I hover, notice that no longer am I pointing to an actual HTML. Notice at the bottom it has hash bang register. See that? Okay. Which right now it's not mapped to anything. Right. I went to the controller. I told the controller that's the mapping, but there is no mapping. Right. I don't know where to go. Right. So in the configuration, we can go back and start adding some of these things. Right. So we can say login. And then we can say register. And where do we want to go? We don't have a controls just yet for these, but presumably it would be at the register view. Yes? Or if you have a profile, it would be profile. Profile, and then this would be profile view. Right? And I don't believe these exist just yet. So let's rename them. So let's go into public. And then this would be, let's see, where are we? Assignment, graduate, and then user. And let's fix this. So let's rename them the way they say here. So let's try that. So this would be refactor, and this would be profile.view.client. Let me copy that. And let's do the same thing for register. There we go. All right, so now they have the correct names. And I believe the mappings are correct, right? So let's try again. If I refresh, notice that the register page does load, right? And that if I go back and I click on profile, I navigate to the profile page. Okay, so these two actually work, right? Perhaps the login page I might want to change so that if I click on the register page, I don't actually navigate to a register page. I also going to change that. So let's do that. Let's go into login and change this hard-coded navigation into hash bang register. Yes, right? Also in the profile, I think we had a navigation back to where? To the, if we did a log out, we went to log out, we were going to a login page. Instead, we're going to go to hash bang login, right? Make sense? Right? So let's try that. Let's try that. Let's see if I click on register. Indeed, I navigate to register. If I let's see, do I have, if I go to profile and I click on logout, I navigate back to the login page, which works nicely, right? Also on the register page, I think we had a, I have a navigation to the profile. So this could also be a hash bang profile, right? And this could be hash bang login, right? Let's go back to see if this works now. Register. If I cancel, go back to login. If I register, it goes to the profile page. If I cancel, go back to login. So it looks like it's working, right? The navigation is working. But halfway through this, I realized that my implementation for the templates is not following the best practices for organization, right? So somebody halfway through this realizes that actually all my views should be under templates, right? And you start moving things around. Right? And also you realize that all your views should actually be under the views directory, right? And you want to move all the widgets, the websites, the user, and the page, move it under where? Under views. Under views. Okay? And obviously this breaks more than everything, right? So this is, I think I need to move this 2 up, right? Probably, and the register 2, right? Okay. And now notice that it breaks, right? Because I move things around, right? But to fix it, the only thing that needs to be fixed is that I have the centralized controller, right? The centralized controller knows where everything is. Right? It's my single point of maintenance, right? As opposed to visiting all the pages, and because I move things around, all those hard-coded links, they would break, right? And I would have to open each one of those pages, right, to fix all those hard-coded links, or have a powerful tool like WebStorm, right, that can find all these broken links and fix them, right? But those are not always reliable, right? It's best to have a single place of maintenance where I don't have to go into 10, 20, 30 different files because now those hyperlinks are broken, right? I have a single place that I can update this. I can say just views, right, and just add it to each one of these. Oops, right, and all of these are also under the templates. Right, and put them there, right, and refresh, and notice that login works again. But what's going on here? The controller, login controller, can't find it. All right, because did we move the controller? Did we move the controller? No, we left it in the same place, didn't we? Oh, the whole thing. You're right. So let's So we have here it's under. It's under views / user and login controller. There it is. Thank you. And I'm back to where I was. Register and cancel, and my navigation still works, right? As opposed to going after all those links, I have a single place of maintenance. Everybody okay? All right. All right. Let me stop that.